Let's go bang, game perdana bang ya. Para legend ini, para GOAT antara Onyx PH melawan Team Liquid PH. Let's go game perdana. Let's go. Ini dia. Let's go.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
First at how well the matchup is dealt between the Lunox and the 1-1 because there is a small margin of error where if Kelra messes up
pakai 1-1.
his first trade in the minion waves, then Oheb's going to be able to
Pakai
push him
2
back.
MM mereka.
The Inspire on
Besar nggak
himself
sih
to bring
mapnya?
Kelra low,
Yeah.
force out the regen, and then bring it for
Kemudian
round 2
sebentar
where
Kelra
the
pakai
1-1 will have
Lunox,
an
bang.
advantage. That's why you actually see the Lunox
Ini
holding
flickery
close,
dong.
while JP, great disruption onto King Kong, being able to hook him back.
Both roamers have successfully caused some sort of disruption towards the enemy jungler. An iron hook from JP and Brusco actually forced Carl TZ out of his purple buff, but they were able to secure it still
Di-retry oleh
nonetheless.
King
And
Kong langsung.
I'm liking how careful these teams are so far, because you cannot be putting yourself in a dangerous position knowing that there is a Khalid roam on the opposite side.
Both of these teams are rabid dogs. The moment that you slip up in the early game, they're not going to let up. They're going to bite you down, and then they're going to force the narrative against you. Onyx Philippines is NTLPH just playing it carefully right now in the first few minutes of the game. You do not want to slip up at this part.
Yeah, you see, quite conservative, but now with Keller finding a little bit of an
Diganggu
inch
saja
of
oleh
advantage,
JP
now
di
will push
sini.
in the pressure there. This is actually a debut pick, 3 of them for Team Liquid, a debut pick on the Franco for JP, the 1-1, and the Uranus.
Yeah. Surprisingly, JP's being a really annoying Franco here, though. Like, those iron hooks which he gets to land on the creeps already allows them to reset. And I don't know if the broken walls have something to do with it, but he gets to always bring them out of range. So somehow it does affect King Kong.
Pakai
and
map
how
yang
fast he's
bolong-bolong
able to
itu
farm
dindingnya
up,
orang ini
but
bang ya.
At least for now,
Temboknya
they're still
bolong-bolong.
pretty much equal.
And this is going to be the first turtle of the game. No clear advantage yet so far for both teams here, but great poke damage coming in from King Kong. And maybe after this purple buff for both junglers, we
Udah
might be
langsung
able
ambil
to see a
posisi di
big
sini.
turtle fight. Looks like
Jer,
they're going to go for
Sanfordnya
Sanford
mati dong.
first.
Oh, ada
Okay, that's
purify.
the Purify. That's the ultimate
Ih,
already used.
dipaksa
Rather
dong.
doesn't have a way out unless there you go. He has the flicker still, and he will remain alive.
Yeah,
And the
good
turtle.
cover.
And the turtle has continued here for Onyx Philippines. This might just be an extended team fight. Carl TZ with a mounted shocker as well.
Look at these broken walls, greatly affecting the flow of the fight.
dapat.
King Kong gets the turtle, and Carl TZ will fall. The grab is also committed onto
Waduh, dia
members here
cekak
of
King Kong ini, bos.
Philippines. No one left except Sanford, and of course Oheb, who's just alone up top.
Massive gold swing though. Onyx Philippines now ahead by 1.5k. Sanford
Sanford?
trying to look for something here. Might just find King Kong, but King Kong finds
kill.
him first. And that's going to be a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, massive trade there. It actually began because Super Prince was able to find the perfect angle for the Crimson Beacon. Team Liquid Philippines slipped up on their positioning after Sanji got a beautiful traction pulse to what looked like start things off
ada
very
pause
well
di sini,
for
Bang,
Team
ya.
Liquid. But great assessment of the
Sabar.
situation.
Oke, kita masuk lagi
I
setelah
think that's
pause
one of
tadi.
the hardest parts about this lineup of Team Liquid, at least for the early to mid stages of the game. So much has to be done by Sanford for them to last long enough in a fight.
Yep.
And so much still has to be farmed up by Carl TZ, Sanji, and Oheb.
Yeah, because of the very greedy nature of the lineup of Team Liquid Philippines, it's also understandable to see that Onyx will be taking the lead
Kildranya.
as long
Yeah.
as that they can give the Uranus problems early on and then find Carl TZ
Masih
early.
menang loh ya, menang level.
Onyx can just continue to play this
Cuma
very
Kildranya
cleanly,
nggak
very
pakai purify.
methodical. At some point, though, they're going to have to respect the potential turnaround factor around the
Sangat
1-1
berisiko.
and the Franco together.
Kalau
And if ever Sanji does
Franco-nya
become a
komit
more
ke
difficult target for Onyx Philippines to catch, but it's gonna be a while
Kelra.
until we get there.
Yeah.
Onyx can just keep this up.
tapi tidak
So,
semudah itu.
maybe for
Ini
now it's
Onyx
really
bos.
just limiting what Onyx could potentially get in the early stages. It's limiting the snowball if you're Team Liquid Philippines, because
Sebenarnya kalau TG
there's
nggak
not much you
terlalu
can do.
jago dia
There's
pakai
steps on Keller,
aparat
though,
Gerald.
but doesn't
Ayo,
use the
flicker
crossbow
di sana.
attack, or he actually doesn't have it. Now Brusco, will he get to finish the kill? Maybe not for now.
Yeah, there was already a trade-off between these two marksmen up top in the gold lane. I feel like the crossbow tank was used, but that did force out the brilliance coming in from Keller as
Makanya
well.
dia
And
ngambilnya
with this, the
ke
second turtle
YSS.
has already spawned. Slight advantage here for TLPH, but Sanford might just be caught.
Diganyang 4 orang bos.
This lead that Sanford doesn't get to survive.
Eh,
JP
kena
finds an
dong.
iron hook, but it's gonna be on Brusco, who still
Lama
has
siya
the flicker and the
flicker.
quicksand guard.
Yeah, Liquid needs to let go of this. Onyx are just going to be able to get this without a problem. Karl'Tezi backs off.
The Apex Predator a bit too forward there in his XP lane. And this is the nature of the lineup between a Glue and a Uranus. I've recently found out from a Glue expert around the global tier that a Uranus matchup isn't really a winning matchup against a Glue, but you just wait for your allies and you deliver that Uranus to them.
Yeah, and it seems like Kirk has manipulated the laning phase so that Sanford would just keep thinking about pushing forward. And with those two early deaths, Liquid and Sanford need to readjust how they play this game if they want to make sure that Onyx doesn't run away with this with like a 7,000-8,000 gold lead in the next 4 minutes.
Yeah, this is such a great start for Kirk and his return on the Glue, limiting so much of what Sanford is able to do. But Brusco goes in though, gets to touch the Starlio beam, but not the bloody hunt from JP. That is going to be a pickoff for Team Liquid Philippines, but Super Prince and Kirk are still trying to fight more. There goes the traction pulse once more, and the damage gradually being enough. The grab wrap is committed onto Oheb, but he's just going to bring him further behind. Brilliance also forced out by Sanford on Kelra. There goes the Chaos Assault, but will they still go for the chase? He's under the turret already, but JP finishes off the kill with an iron hook.
And JP from downtown, but King Kong going in for the flag.
King Kong baru datang.
Punctures in, make that 4, make that 5. He's
Serot, masih ada Winter.
Saves him for a while. It seems like
Nah,
he's
ini baru main ini
He
Onyxnya.
still gets to walk away safely, even despite that perfectly positioned Thorned Rose. But then again, who would have thought that
Wah,
he
mereka tanpa
already
King
had the
Kong
Winter
kalah lah,
Crown?
bos.
JP, oh my god, you
5
had
lawan
that
4.
and then you still got away? Bro, that was 3 key hooks in that long sequence. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Onyx Philippines just slipped up at one moment. But even more so, JP found 3 brilliant hooks.
Yeah, I don't know if it was also the passive that came into play that allowed
Tapi
for,
itu gol masih
for
menang
JP
Onyx,
to deal
Bang, ya.
that much damage.
Yeah,
But
Wasteland.
it was the Wasteland Force maybe that helped them get to take the kill on Kelra.
Body didn't even move, but look at that. King Kong might just be in trouble. Oheb half HP. JP misses that
pakai
hook. It
flicker
looks
dia.
like Sanford looks to be the next target here.
He did miss it, but barely. I feel like King Kong also got a bit nervous there. But Oheb will still have to regain some of his HP back if they do want to fight this 5-on-5, because these are 5 members of Onyx Philippines, and Karl'Tezi is not anywhere near. So they might have to let go of this objective, and we'll just try to fight a bit more instead. Sanford might be the target here, but will just be able to return under the turret. Oh,
Ih,
actually want to
masuk ke belakang.
hold on, Sanji doesn't survive. King Kong used the retribution just to take the kill, and even the tier 1 in mid will not last long.
And just when you thought that the fight was over, Onyx Philippines, they find another
Pakai
angle, and they
retri.
go in with a Raging Sandstorm.
Perfect entry there by Kirk. I thought he wouldn't commit it, but he even uses Flicker as well. If you're going to commit a play like that, you have to get a trade, and they did. Sanji even forces Flicker out to survive, but he didn't. He caused it his death. Big win in the middle for Onyx as they were able to push the tower there as well.
And so far for TLPH, the gold lead against Onyx Philippines, they're still down by 2,000. This was up by 3,000. Minor slip up there meant Onyx Philippines went back to 2,000. But throughout this entire time, this man, Super Prince, has been able to calm everything down for the side of Onyx Philippines, and that's the Infinix GT30 experience victory for every Madlang gamer.
By the way, quick item update. Kelra already has the Divine Glaive. He decided to rush into it. So now Team Liquid Philippines will, hopefully one of them sees that. Because Kelra, with that item, means that he'll just be able to completely shred through Sanford very quickly. And even the squishier members of Team Liquid Philippines will feel the pain. That's the power spike that you're looking for if you're the Lunox. So Team Liquid, they now have to start really talking amongst themselves, JP and Sanford mainly, about when to engage. Because if you decide to engage in one, you have the Khalid and the Lancelot to watch out.
Oh no! Speaking of engage, the Bloody Hunt is committed onto Kirk, but the Raging Sandstorm will be there too. However, the damage from TLPH is seemingly overwhelming for Onyx. That's a double kill for Sanji right there.
And yet another clutch Winter's Crown comes in from Daddy JP. Cancels out the Glue ultimate, but King Kong is looking for more. The Iron Hook doesn't land, and finally the First Lord spawns. Onyx is still up by 1.7. Renmar, what's the game plan here for both teams?
Oh, JP is cracked. So for Team Liquid Philippines, you have to move forward. Someone has to hold the shrubs up top near that BPI logo, while Sanji is holding perfectly Just keep that there. You're fine. Hold on to that bush. So now later on, Onyx, let's see if they're going to open the map or decide to full commit. It's a full commit. They can't just all be here. They need to try and send someone
Kirk
through
belum
mid so
terbalik-
that they can
terbalik
pincer
tuh.
together.
Yeah.
Wait,
Dapat dong.
What a well-timed
Brusco!
hook! But the answer from Brusco, we have the crossbow of tag from Ohead is gonna land. Sanford will have to flicker out just to survive, but Carl Teasy and Sanji are dealing enough damage. Traction pulse will not connect. The flicker Iron Hook 2 will not connect. But Onyx are able to run away.
Mati dua
Yet
dong.
TLPH are in
Wow.
full control of the Lord.
And that was a 1K gold lead ahead for Onyx Philippines, but they
Gokil
clutch
tuh
hook
Franco emang.
secures the Lord for TLPH. First Lord of the game goes to the head of the GOAT, Carl Teasy.
Oh man, JP, he just continues to shut the hitters up.
Uh-huh.
Hook after hook. And then that even forced the Thorn
Ngeri Franco ya.
that he gets an iframe. Oh my goodness, JP, what is going on?
Man, a lot of players have stepped up today, and it seems in game one, JP is the man to look at for TLPH, and this is going to be the
Ternyata
first Lord
10
push of the
lubang,
game.
Bang.
For majority of the early to the mid-game, Onyx Philippines has held
Tembok,
the
ya.
lead. It was a 2,000, 3,000 gold lead, and with this Lord push, they have not only equalized the game, but they've went in and dealt damage on Onyx Philippines.
Oh, are they actually gonna fight this? Look at how Carl Teasy, without
JP.
hesitation, just
JP.
threw out the Mountain Shocker. JP will not get to find a target there, but it was enough to push Onyx back and potentially Team Liquid Philippines to really
Udah max
take
level
control
King
of the
Kong ya.
map right now.
Yeah, Team Liquid Philippines did a
Selalu King Kong
terrific
yang
job
duluan
of just being able to farm up. Sanji's 5-2-1. So
finish.
now Onyx Philippines, as we were discussing earlier, a lot of options to go for.
That was an Iron Hook which landed, if not for the spread, I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
So, fortunately for Kirk, he survives that. Okay, so Onyx might
Wow.
be able to breathe a bit more for now.
And finally, both junglers reach level 15 here by 11:40. And after 10 minutes of suffering for TLPH, they finally get the gold lead to 1.5K in their favor. But looking at the Infinix in-game equipment right now, Renmar, looking at the two top-tier junglers that we have, it's still King Kong up top by 200 gold.
Yeah, Glue doesn't have the Radiant Armor yet for Kirk, as he decided to go for a bit of a chop suey build. Dominance Ice was his rush, and then he went Dreadnought, and then he built the robe as well. So there's no real full component to deal with the damage of the Kimmy. Later on, we're going to start seeing Radiant Armors and Blade Armors on the side of Onyx, which actually shuts down those three carries for Liquid. However, it just sort of mitigates what the 1-1 can do. One of the problems is Onyx doesn't have that surefire burst that can easily get the 1-1. Keldra has to put himself in harm's way. King Kong has to put himself in harm's way just to make sure that they can get damage off on Oheb. But Team Liquid are holding the formation so well every team fight, and Sanji so hard
dari
to
belakang
reach
ini.
that it's so tough to do.
Conceal play here for Onyx. Nice Mountain Shocker coming in from TLPH for some information.
posisinya
Kiko
itu loh.
forced to go out with a phantom execution, and it seems that Sanford will be giving vision for TLPH 30 seconds before the second Lord of the game spawns. In terms of objectives, Turtles have worked out for Onyx Philippines, but for TL, the Lords have been in their favor.
Yeah, you're really starting to see this formation of Team Liquid Philippines. They're holding on to this, and JP is just so reliable. He needs to stick to the members who need to survive. That
Yes.
Bloody Hunt can potentially set a very important kill, or either be the reason that their members or one of their most crucial carries are able to live.
What I like about the item build here of Sanford is that he decided to rush the Oracle. Wait!
Ih,
Hold on, JP
kena.
really low now.
Kena,
The
kena,
grab
kena,
will
kena,
land
kena,
back
kena.
Execution 2. Will Oheb find his stacks? Will he still find his stacks?
Wah,
Sanji,
King Kongnya kena
he finds the
stun.
kill on King Kong. Sanford decides to go in, and my oh my Onyx, they lost their jungler.
And that's the worst part. They have a Lord fight upcoming, and they don't have the retribution, which means that the GOAT once again secures the Lord for TLPH.
What's up with the Kimmies in the Philippines lately? Sanji on the way to a potential MVP performance for himself as well. 6-2-1. Again, we in the previous patch and heading into this one, we talked that having multiple cores might be a bit too greedy. But with how well Team Liquid Philippines have played around their condition
Untuk
of
goldnya
if the
leading
Iron Hook
10.000.
lands through, make sure you commit.
Carl Teasy
Then
Ohebnya
these cores
9.000
actually got
bersama
to get
dengan
their
King
farm
Kong ya.
so much faster, which meant that now Onyx are overloaded with choices. Because if you are the members of Onyx, who the hell are you going to target? You take out one carry, there's two more to deal with.
Well, the answer begins to be all of them all at once, and it's the hardest thing to do because TLPH has one of the best formations in terms of team fightings. And now the Lord crashes up top. That's going to be one inhibitor turned down. That's not going to land. The Iron Hook as well. It looks like they're going to use the
langsung diulti.
Borderos to go in for the pokes. They find JP.
Nice, dapat dia.
Now Bloody Hunt was forced. Immortality already popped.
King Kong ke belakang.
King Kong, but King Kong might have to sacrifice himself as well. Brusco will be the next target. OM still dancing around the members. Quick Sandguard just trying to force some sort of sustain, but it's just a double kill.
Itu
for
apanya?
Carl
Lordnya,
TZ.
bos.
Sandford still tanking the damage, and somehow, someway, 2-for-2 trades take place across the map.
3 people left to defend here for Onyx Philippines, but you still have Kelra and Super Friends. You still have the wave clear, but all of the resources inside the jungle of Onyx Philippines will be surrendered to TLPH.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate the killer mentality there of Super Friends. The moment he saw that the hook was used by JP, he decided to commit his Crimson Beacon in damage to the center.
Ih, di flickeri.
Flicker
Oh,
from Kirk.
he got him!
Ah, nggak dapat.
But he couldn't do anything. There's the stun from the Mountain Shocker and the damage from
Bang!
Heaven Carl. Now they're trying to fight back once more, but they have to respect Kelra too. He has damage.
Carl.
Crimson Beacon in from Super Prince, but Carl
Dapat juga.
still finds the kill before
Kena
eventually
shutdown ya.
getting shut down by King Kong.
It looks like Sanford and OF, they want blood. They want blood. Kelra is the first victim, but the light is there to guide him back home. And the hook,
Hey.
he eats the 2, and the 1 remains.
Brusco,
1-0,
the only one
bos.
left. Quick Sandguard,
Sumpah,
but he
aku
cannot
dikeri.
last long. A winter crown
Franco-nya
from
dong.
Sanji to survive, and with every single member alive except
Gokil.
Carl,
1-0 bang ya.
TLPH secure game number 1.
GG bos.